Why is your cholesterol high, even when you're eating right? Well, today we're going to talk about this invisible traffic jam inside your bloodstream and how to finally clear it with my special cholesterol repair blueprint. You don't want to miss this because I've even had patients eating a plant-based diet lower their cholesterol by up to 25% with what I'm about to share. But first, let's get a little context on what's going on here. So, back in 1984, the front of Time magazine declared a war on cholesterol, right? The cover, it was a frowning face. You may remember this, drawn on with 2 eggs and a strip of bacon. And that image haunted breakfast tables for years. For decades, cholesterol-rich foods like eggs and shrimp and liver were demonized. The message was simple: if you eat cholesterol, your cholesterol will rise. So stop eating cholesterol. But something odd kept happening, right? So people would lower their dietary cholesterols, but their numbers barely budged. Others went plant-based and saw their LDL drop like a rocket ship, right? Even though they were still eating dietary fat. So meanwhile, some people loaded up on kale and beans, exercised daily, and still had high cholesterol. The message was no longer simple. It was confusing, and for many patients, it was very discouraging. So let's rewind. And what actually is cholesterol? Why does your body make it? And how can you fix the system without chasing numbers? Okay, let's take a peek inside. So picture your liver as a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week Amazon warehouse, right? So instead of headphones or dog food, it ships something very vital: cholesterol. Now, around 75% of your cholesterol in your body is homemade. That's right, your liver makes it, even if you never ate another omelet again. Why? Because cholesterol isn't a villain. It's actually a builder. Your body uses cholesterol for some very important functions. For example, it patches cell membranes. Every single one of your trillions of cells needs it. It makes hormones like estrogen, testosterone, cortisol. It helps manufacture vitamin D. It helps build bile acids to digest fats. And it keeps your brain running and your nerves communicating. This molecule is absolutely essential. Your body produces it because your body needs it. Now, let's go on to scene 2. Meet the delivery trucks, right? But here's a catch. Cholesterol can't just float in your blood. It's oily. Blood is watery. Oil and water just don't mix. So, if your body bundles cholesterol into lipoproteins, think of these as tiny trucks made of fat and protein. So, each one of these has a job. We'll talk about some of the essential ones. LDL, these are the delivery trucks, right? They drop cholesterol off at cells that need repair. Then you have your HDL. This is your cleanup crew, right? They pick up excess cholesterol and return it to the liver. And then you have your VLDL and some remnants. These carry things called triglycerides, right? It's a type of fat that your body stores for energy. And when you eat more calories, especially sugar or refined carbohydrates, than you burn, the liver turns that excess into triglycerides and ships them out using these trucks. So in a healthy body, these vehicles run like a well-oiled fleet, right? They're dropping off, they're picking up, and staying in balance. But let's move on to scene 3, when your system begins to break down. Okay, so imagine this. The liver keeps sending out trucks, your LDL, but the cells don't need more cholesterol. So the trucks start circling, right? Your HDL garbage trucks are in short supply and no one's cleaning up. Meanwhile, the roads, your arteries, are inflamed, right? The lining becomes sticky, trucks crash, cargo spills, immune cells swarm to clean the scene, and cholesterol sticks where it shouldn't. That's how plaques begin to form. But what caused the flood of traffic in the first place? Well, let's move on to scene 4. Let's talk about the hidden force called insulin resistance. Now, this hidden system at play often takes years in the making, what I'm going to refer to as insulin resistance. And it doesn't just start with cholesterol. It starts with weight gain, especially around the belly, too little movement, and high stress, poor sleep, and ultra-processed foods. Now, over time, your cells stop responding to insulin, and that triggers something very important, a cascade. Step 1, the liver produces more triglycerides. So when cells resist insulin, blood sugar stays high. Your liver responds by converting that excess sugar into triglycerides, fat that you can store. It then sends out more of those VLDL trucks to haul them away. Step 2, LDL particles get smaller and denser. So too many triglyceride-rich trucks crowd your system, right? So enzymes swap their triglyceride load into LDL trucks, which reshapes them into small, dense particles. These are more likely to sneak into your artery walls and get trapped, fueling the plaque buildup. Step 3, your HDL levels drop. Now, the flood of triglyceride also wears out your HDL trucks. They get overloaded, dismantled, and simply disappear. And now you have fewer cleanup trucks, right, or fewer cleanup crews. That means that there's more debris laying around. And step 4 is your LDL receptors disappear. So normally your liver acts like a recycling center, right? It uses LDL receptors to pull excess LDL out of the bloodstream. But when insulin resistance hits, this recycling system breaks down. The receptors vanish, so the trucks just keep circling with nowhere to park. Now, what's the result? More cholesterol floating around with nowhere to go and no off-ramps in sight. And this is why many people with high cholesterol also have high triglycerides, low HDL, elevated fasting insulin, and fatty liver. These are not independent problems. They are symptoms of the same traffic jam. So let's go on to scene 5. So does food matter? Yes, but not how most people think. Dietary cholesterol can affect blood cholesterol, but only modestly. Your body adapts. When you eat more cholesterol, your liver usually makes less. But here's the twist. When people eat more whole plant foods, their cholesterol drops, even if their cholesterol intake stays the same. Why? Because plants are packed with soluble fiber that binds cholesterol in the gut, aka from being reabsorbed and escorted out the rear end, literally. Plant-rich diets reduce inflammation, right? They improve insulin sensitivity. They reboot the cleanup crew and slow the liver's overproduction. So while dietary cholesterol isn't irrelevant, right? The real shift happens when you crowd in the good stuff, not just cut out the bad. Let's move on to scene 6. This is the good news, right? And you can clean up the system, right? You don't need to attack cholesterol itself. You just need to repair the system that handles cholesterol. And that means a few different things. You're going to reduce the number of broken trucks, the VLDL and the triglycerides. You're going to rebuild your cleanup crew, that's your HDL. You're going to reopen the receptor exits and help your cells want cholesterol again. And you're going to calm the inflamed roads, which are your arteries. And you do that through consistent healing habits. You can use targeted tools like certain supplements, soluble fiber, or even medications when necessary, but none of those work if the foundation is unstable. So if you fix the system, the numbers often will follow. All right, now I do want to give a highlight to familial hyperlipidemia. Now, some people have a genetic condition called familial hyperlipidemia, oh my heavens, which causes very high LDL levels regardless of your diet or lifestyle. So if your total cholesterol LDL is unusually high, especially if the LDL is above 190, especially if you have a family history of early heart disease, talk to your doctor about getting tested. In these cases, lifestyle changes are still powerful, but medication is often essential to reduce your total risk. And it's not a failure, it's just a tailored solution to a different biology. The key is knowing what you're working with. So let's talk about the cholesterol repair blueprint. If you've ever felt, again, confused about your cholesterol, you're not alone. The truth is, fixing cholesterol isn't just about removing foods or adding a supplement. It's about healing the entire system that handles it. And that's what I have here. So basically, when you think about the cholesterol repair blueprint, I'm going to give you all sorts of things. You're going to learn a step-by-step system to lower LDL by addressing the root causes. You're going to get the exact patient-tested protocol that I use in my clinic, featuring foods and supplements that have helped my patients' LDL drop by 25%. And then you're going to understand why fiber is the most powerful and way more powerful than people realize. You're going to talk about the science behind walking after meals. We're going to learn about your triglycerides and HDL numbers, what those actually mean. You're going to learn about how sleep, stress, and nighttime snacks influence cholesterol clearance. And you also get the cholesterol repair worksheet, right? This is a tracker to help you understand your habits and what's important. So if you're interested in learning that and also seeing a written form of everything I just spoke about, click the link below, join our Substack, and you will get that the cholesterol repair blueprint for free. So I'll see you there. Take care, everyone. Bye.